So a little bit about myself. My name is Fredrik Philipson. I'm a managing partner and principal licensing consultant at Redress Compliance. I have over 15 years of Oracle experience. I usually introduce myself by saying I'm 40 years old, and for the past 15 years I've worked at Oracle, and then for the past 6 years I've been working as a consultant, helping companies globally with Oracle licensing and contracts. Some of my years at Oracle was spent working as a technology sales rep, so I have negotiated ULAs, sold technology licenses. So I'm sort of going to share a lot of my experience and knowledge, what I learned at Oracle about contracts, how does it work internally, why are Oracle behaving like they are, what is possible to negotiate and what is not. So my experience is not really based on what I've accomplished working with customers. It's primarily based on what I've learned working at Oracle, which is really the truth. So it's not research or surveys. It's really how does it work internally at Oracle. So I don't do much of contract negotiations for companies actually, but most of my work is around licensing. So I help companies with licensing. I have helped them if they have an audit from Oracle or cost optimization or maybe ULAs, for example. Just want to make you aware, I run a newsletter where I update the readers about trends in Oracle licensing and contracts, which also includes negotiations. So I'm often asked, why did I switch sides? And so I did leave Oracle in 2014 to 15, and there was actually I realized that there was no knowledge in the market about what sort of discounts should you have. There's big variations of what customers are getting. You could be a very big company investing lots of money in Oracle, and there's a smaller company that's investing far less, to getting better business terms. And Oracle does a lot of business directly, so which means that there's very little knowledge in the market about Oracle contracts and pricing, and also about licensing as well. Compared to where you have Microsoft, who have very much a partner model and Oracle is doing a direct model, which means that the knowledge of Oracle is very limited in the market. People who used to work in Oracle, they usually go to Salesforce, SAP, or Workday and keep earning a lot of money in commission. They rarely go and switch to the other side, which I did. And I think everybody is aware that Oracle software is very expensive. So small mistakes can easily cost millions. And I think this is sort of why my value comes in, that there's so many opportunities both in the licensing world but also in the contract worlds to achieve savings, many times sort of my consulting fee. So I'm just going to talk about a little bit how it works internally at Oracle. So Oracle have sales reps for each product. You potentially might have 20 different sales reps at Oracle. But most likely you are just an Oracle EBS customer or Oracle technology, and you just have 1 or 2 people that you talk to. But if you would call Oracle and say, I want to buy a specific product, you're going to have a new salesperson. So what this means is that, for example, the person who is responsible for selling database cloud or technology licenses to you, they have no real interest in you renewing the support renewal for your existing product, which means that they are just focusing on who of my customers are willing to buy new services or new licenses this year, and they don't treat the support renewals as a business, which is why many companies are saying that Oracle only cares about us if we're looking at buying something. Something to know, all sales reps are on a 12-month sales target. So when I was at Oracle, we often said that, well, we are on a 12-month contract, which means that Oracle works very short term. They don't think about, if you tell them I'm going to buy something in 12 months, most likely you're not going to get much attention before. It's 3 months before they pay attention to you. None of them have an overall relationship with you at Oracle. So many customers have tried to say, well, can we just have one account manager and you're responsible for everything? The only companies that are able to have that are the very largest companies at Oracle. They have one key account director. I think the limit is you probably need to spend, I think it's $5 or $10 million a year, and then you might get a key account director. But they then have 20 different sales people at Oracle for each product. So you still have to deal with all of these sales reps, but you have one person at least who are sort of keeping the overall relationship with you. But if you're a smaller customer and you have anything below a $5 million annual spend with Oracle, including support renewals, you're not going to get any key account director for you. It's just a waste of time. So what does it mean for you? Support renewals team, which is more and more moved to offshore countries such as Romania or India, and Oracle also have a strategy of using a self-service portal to renew your support. So they basically don't want to talk with you; they just want to have you renewing their support agreements without talking to Oracle. But they don't care about if you buy new technology products or new apps products. They simply just care about you renewing your support. And one person usually have a support renewal target every year for $100 million. So if you think about that, and let's say that you have a $200,000 renewal for Oracle on-premise licenses, they don't care much if you don't renew that or not, which is absurd, really, because 200,000 is a lot of money, but that's just how Oracle are. Technology sales, they don't care if you renew your old support agreements because they're not compensated on that. And application sales have no interest in you buying more technology products or anything else. So everyone at Oracle is really focusing on their narrow area. And they have a 12-month contract, so they don't view you as a long-term customer. They're just finding who are willing to make a deal this financial year for Oracle. And so you need to, when you are approaching a negotiation with Oracle, who should you be talking to? Is this person actually being compensated for the product that you want to buy? But it also means that there's very limited possibilities in sort of bundling together different products and hoping that you're going to get a better deal. You might get a little better discount, but it's not even worth it. So it's because you can get the same discount if you just buy individually. So if you're looking at several different, let's say you're looking at business intelligence, applications, technology, and thinking, oh, but if I go to Oracle with everything, am I going to get a better deal? Probably not. And something to be aware of. So Oracle have different offices in every country. So there's an Oracle in the UK, there's an Oracle in France, there's an Oracle in the US, there's an Oracle in Canada, everywhere really. And they don't work together. Often these salespeople, if you're a global company and you have offices in different countries, you're going to have different Oracle salespeople competing against each other. So they are you might be a UK company and then you have business in the US and you have a US subsidiary looking at buying something from Oracle. You might actually get an internal competition between Oracle US and Oracle UK. Who wants to sell the licenses? Who gets compensated from the deal? Which you can use that knowledge for your advantage sometimes. Normally, you get the best deals at parent level. You don't get good deals on subsidiary level. And that is because Oracle gives whoever is the account manager for your parent company, they have final say and can always give more discounts than the account reps who are managing your subsidiaries. Something to be aware of, 80% of all Oracle employees in these countries, I'm excluding India, for example, and these sort of support centers, but 80% of all Oracle people in the UK are more or less salespeople. And they only care about one thing, which is revenue. They don't care really about the contract terms that you give them. They're compensated on revenue. They don't have like, okay, should I... Sometimes when the deal is big enough, they basically don't care about the discount, they just care about the revenue. And when I was at Oracle, my sales director, she actually said this to one of our customers at that time. And she said, "We are just a real estate agent here. We want to sell you whatever you want here. If you're willing to pay us $1 million, we don't really care about your contract terms or what you want in the agreement. But in order for us to give you this contract with licenses or cloud, we need to ask internal approval." So it's just something to be aware of, that when you're negotiating with Oracle, you're negotiating with an individual who have lots of mandate, and if you convince and they want to make this deal, sometimes more than Oracle does. So this is how it works at Oracle. So I use this to explain how Oracle's works for internal approvals, which is because I think most companies have maybe not the same structure, but if you want to make an investment or want to have approval to sign a contract, depending on the value or other factors, you need to get internal approval before you can sign this contract or go ahead. So this is how it works at Oracle. And the value of knowing this is because at Oracle, it is the higher up the sales rep need to go in the approval chain, the more difficult it is to get it done. And I think it's the same in most companies. If you need to sort of ask for some contract term or some discount, and the more people that are involved, the more people that can actually say no. So it starts with this. So if we're just making an example here that we are the Oracle customer here, and you meet with your account manager, the first step, and you say, well, we are looking at buying something from Oracle, and we need to have this discount and these contract terms. So if you want to have anything up to 50% discount, he or she just needs to ask his local manager for approval. It's not more difficult than that. When I was working at Oracle, I didn't even need to ask my local manager because I knew she always approved. It's the same person who approved my holidays or vacation. And so I think if you have had below 50% discount, it's a very easy way of getting it up to 50% discount. And so your local sales rep, he or she can't really approve any discounts at all, but it's very easy to sort of just ask the first manager or director and say, can you please approve? And Oracle do have, so how does it work internally? They have an internal sort of approval system. So it's sort of like a ticketing system where you need to write business justification. So you write the customer name, what products you're going to buy, what discounts do you want to have approved, and why do you want to have that discount? And then there's some other things as well. But when it was up to 50%, I just wrote like need 50% of the discount. One line, and it was usually approved within a minute. So it was probably someone who didn't even read it, my local manager, because she trusted me. But if it goes above 50%, it goes to like a professional team of business practices who are reviewing all the sort of justifications. Why do we need to have more than 50% discount? And that is a European or North American team. And so if you want to have more than 50% discount, you need to sort of work with your account manager, or at least provide him with a good business justification. Why should you have a 65 or 70% discount? And then if you need to have more than 70% discount, it basically goes to the last gatekeeper. It's a VP of business practices. It's someone in the UK now. And then it goes to HQ approval, which is America. So all ULA requests goes to HQ. So if you want to have any ULA, it goes to HQ for approval. If you want to have more than 70% discount, it goes to the US as well. And I often share this because many negotiations fail because you might just want to have 45% discount, but then suddenly you want to have a contract term, and according to Oracle, for the sales rep, he needs to go to a very high approval level to get that approved, and then it fails. So I often advise try to focus on the low-hanging fruits when you're negotiating with Oracle. So what is my discount based on? So it's not based on employees or customer revenue or the size of your Oracle estate. It's usually based on historical discounts and negotiated results. So when I was at Oracle, I had 20 customers and there was like no rule book or why they have this discount. There was no documentation why they have this discount. And whenever they were buying something new, we looked at the previous discount and then we say, okay, you get the same discount now as the last time. And then sometimes they wanted to negotiate because there was a new procurement person there, and we gave them 5 or 10% better. But that should not really, you should be understanding what is the market discount, what can I actually get, what is realistic, which is why it's good to sort of listen to this webinar. And how do you get the best price? You get the best price by believing that there's a competitive situation. When I was at Oracle, if I would talk to anyone and they say, oh, we're looking at buying additional middleware products for this application, and we're just expanding, and then the question would be, but which application are you using, and are you going to expand on? And if the customer would simply say, but it's the existing one that already using Oracle, well, then I feel like, why should I even have to give them any discounts? So be very careful about what you tell Oracle in order to get better discounts, because you can just say it's a competitive, it's a new application, we're thinking about JBoss or anything else, then you're going to get the different discount could be 30 or 40% discount. So there's no benefit of being transparent and being honest with Oracle. Just keep your cards very close to the chest. So these are the sort of the realistic negotiation goals what you can have. So just want to mention something. All Oracle partners have a 30% discount from Oracle, regardless of the volume. So it actually, or no, that's not really true. It increases a bit, but if you're looking at something that's $20,000 or pounds, the partner always have a 30% discount. So if you have a small purchase, let's say $40,000 in licenses, don't bother negotiating. It's just make the best of it. Go to a partner who can give you, share, at least 20% discount of that. And this is actually not based on some sort of official Oracle document or anything. So this is based on me working for Oracle and doing a lot of different sort of discount requests. And I sort of learned what are the business approvers willing to approve. So it's sort of my judgment what can be approved in terms of discounts. And it allows you to sort of set, okay, if you get an offer from Oracle, is this really a good discount? Can I do anything about it? So it's because there's no point in asking for a 70% discount on a 100K deal. It's not going to happen. So what can your account manager approve? Just to make you aware. So he can, the customer definition, which is a very important part of all Oracle agreements. Territory clause, he can negotiate and can give you worldwide usage. So this is something I sometimes come across where the companies are saying, territory clause in the Oracle contract is where can you physically deploy Oracle software? And sometimes the Oracle sales reps say, no, we cannot give you worldwide deployment rights. We can only give you the UK or whatever country it is. But then that's false, because he can actually approve worldwide usage himself. He can give you a contract clause that you don't have an audit for 12 months, different types of changes as well to the contract terms. So it's good to know, because this is the low-hanging fruit. This is where you should target. These are sort of contractual benefits that are not part of your standard contract. Then up to 50% discount. There's a few other contract terms the local manager can approve. If you want to go to EMEA level, there's a few other contract terms. I'm not going to go into the details because I know there was a lot of people here who don't have a lot of experience in Oracle negotiations, but just showing you sort of like, where should you put your focus and where should you put your energy? And here you can see it's if you don't want to have an audit for 3 years, you need to go to HQ App for that. So recommendation, understand how difficult or easy it is for your Oracle account manager to get internal approval. And I often recommend don't focus on non-essential terms. What contract terms are important to you? Maybe you want to work with whatever standard language Oracle has, and your internal approval account manager can get it approved easily. Focus on the low-hanging fruits to succeed with your contract negotiation. So with Oracle contracts, I've divided up contract terms into 3 categories of 3 tiers. So you have the tier 3 is what is included in your standard Oracle contracts. I don't know, it's maybe 20 different contract terms. And this is the mistake many are doing, is that they are negotiating based on that. Because there are approximately 100 different contract items that are not part of your standard contract. This is but Oracle sales have an internal document called Global Approval Matrix, and that contains 100 different contract terms that they can ask for approval to give to customers. These contract terms provide cost benefits, reduction of support, different ways of licensing Oracle software, protection against audits. It's sort of the most common 100 different contract items, and usually the average customer maybe have up to 5 of these added to the standard terms. So it's really here's I recommend anyone who is working in procurement, try to understand about what are the contract items that I can include, because it has an enormous value. If you're going from one company to another working in procurement, look at the contracts, because it's not going to be the same contract terms, and then you're going to discover, wow, this customer here has a contract term. This offers real value, and then you can take that knowledge with you and then ask when you're working for a new employer. You can get that into their Oracle contract and deliver savings on licenses, on support. And then there's a tier 1, which is basically anything is possible to negotiate with Oracle. So I don't know how familiar everyone are with Oracle licensing, but they have processors and use-based licensing. But if you have enough money, you can basically negotiate anything. It can be a license model based per employee, airline, gas station, traffic lights. And so the end result is that not many contracts look the same. The only contracts that look the same are the standard ones, where IT procurement or the companies are just signing contracts and not paying attention to the contract terms. 3 contract terms that will provide custom optimization on licensing and support. So the Oracle technical support increases by 3 to 4% every year, depending on your contracts. And if you're making a purchase making a new purchase, you can ask Oracle, I don't want to have this annual increase for up to 5 years. And then the savings would be 80,000 a year. And I think, why would Oracle approve this? Well, because the person who is selling you the new licenses are not compensated on the support renewals. So he's happy to give you that contract item because it doesn't affect his own commission. So another common mistake is that companies are buying Oracle by standard ask you to license production and test environment in the same way, with the same licenses. They don't offer free licenses for test and development. And so, but if you ask for a specific contract concession on how to license test and development, your licensing cost will be reduced by 60% before any discounts are applied. And this is it's tier 1 approval, so it's pretty easy to get. The sales rep doesn't need to go to HQ for this. Also, something if you need to have a contract terms dealing with merger and acquisitions. If you're divested entities that need to use Oracle software, unless you have negotiated terms, that this could cost you extra money. But if you include all of these, you can include a contract term saying that you have the right to assign licenses to the divested entity, or that they can continue using Oracle software for up to a specific time at no cost at all. But if you don't have this contract term and you're going to Oracle, we have divested an entity, or they want to continue using our Oracle EBS, can they do that? Oracle will say, well, yeah, but you need to buy something new for us, and then we can amend the contract. And usually that could be up to 50% of additional cost. But if you would simply have included that at the time of purchase, there's no cost. I saw the best example was a US company that I was helping with. They had a split of the company, and Oracle, in order for Oracle to do a license assignment, so assigning licenses from one entity to another, Oracle asked for $2 million cloud investment in order to make this license assignment. And if they would just have had the right from the beginning in their licensing agreement to make this license assignment, it wouldn't have costed them anything. So don't only focus on getting the best discount. Is that by looking at the contract terms, you're going to bring down the overall cost of ownership for this contract in the future. Start thinking about what if scenarios. So here's a sort of an example of this. Or you would have to request amendment of your existing contract. What if you divest a legal entity that needs to continue using Oracle software for a time? You need to negotiate a contract clause, or Oracle will charge you for this, right? So if you negotiate when you purchase, it's free. If you negotiate after purchase, pay up to 50% more in fees. What if you want to use your on-premise licenses in the cloud? So it might be that your cloud zone might be in a different country where you have the rights to deploy, and then you go say to Oracle, well, we only have UK rights here. Can we deploy this in the US? Oracle is going to say, well, no, it's not allowed per your contract, but if you buy something for this value, we're willing to give you an amendment. So but here again, if you would just have had worldwide usage from the beginning, it would have been no cost at all. You didn't even have to spend time negotiating with Oracle. Free contract terms that will defend you in future license audits. So customer definition is extremely important. So Oracle doesn't, Oracle contracts are 40 pages long. But when there's an audit, they just look at a few different contract terms. They don't go into many others. So customer definition is if you want to have a sort of an audit-proof contract, this is what you should have. You should include all majority-owned subsidiaries and possibly other minority subsidiaries, but then you have to list those as subsidiaries, franchises. There's all kind of variations here. If you're negotiating with Oracle, this is where you need to pay attention: customer definition and territory. So for the territory, you should always have worldwide usage. Simply because the sales rep can approve this himself. So there's no reason to buy anything without worldwide usage rights. There's an audit clause. So Oracle's made a change in their audit clause this year. So the first change they made in 15 years. So Oracle have sort of tightened up their right to audit you and how they perform the audit. It is much more strong contract language in Oracle's favor. And so you should pay attention to that and possibly trying to exclude the part where you have to run Oracle data measurement tools. If you make a large purchase, that's more possible, and you can sort of negotiate a new audit clause. So then you have a free 3 years where there's no license audit from Oracle. So here's a checklist that I recommend that if you don't want to go too deep into the Oracle contract world. It's customer definition, it's the territory, it's the technical support. Look at the customized licensing, audit clauses, extended support. So just briefly about extended support. So if you don't upgrade Oracle software in the pace that Oracle wants you to, they will sooner or later slap a 20% support increase on your Oracle support. So that could be a lot of extra cost that you're not aware of. But if you include a waiver to have this extended support, then they cannot apply this 20% support increase. So it's another sort of cost avoidance contract clause. And also company specific, what's important to you. Every company is different. I would also review are there any risky clauses in my contract. And lastly, look at the pricing and the benchmarking, to avoid overpaying for Oracle. Now we're moving into cloud. So for on-premise licenses, when you're buying Oracle, it's primarily about compliance and making sure that the support costs are not increasing, but also having the flexibility to sort of terminate licenses and support in the future. When it's about cloud, it's more about cost control. I can just speak from my own experience in a very micro environment. So we started our company and we signed up for these cloud services. We thought it can help us, but then we realized after a few months we haven't really used it. And it's this bit of the same when it comes to Oracle. So Oracle wants you to sign like a 3-year agreement for the e-business suite. They want you to buy all of these services that they think that you need. And then, but the problem is that you're probably not going to start using the cloud services in that tempo. And what if you don't? What if the project to start using Oracle Cloud is delayed? You're basically then wasting all that money. So my recommendation is to start very small. Try to get sort of free pilot for 3 to 6 months. Then possibly you should have that if you sign any contract, it should be starting basically the cloud subscription should be starting in 6 months after signature date, and you should possibly have an exit clause as well. I recommend that you start buying small, because if you sign a big cloud Oracle or contract with Oracle, you cannot reduce that, but you can always buy more from Oracle. So my recommendation is start smaller, and then you can increase as you go along. Very important to have a price protection for your renewal. So it should be max 5%. You can possibly get a 0%. Also very important to have fixed price on product that you might want to expand into in the future. Because if you buy an Oracle SaaS product and suddenly you want to buy another module, and Oracle then have a very good negotiation position if they know that you're sort of locked into their solution, and then you're going to get less discounts. So it's just showing this. It's the same approval chain for cloud. So it's the same sort of discounts that you should be focusing on. Same sort of mentality. What are the contract items required, and so on. So here's a contract term I think you should focus on. Before making any purchase of cloud services, make sure that it works as you expected. It's not uncommon that companies are saying that, well, Oracle sales promised me all of this functionality and performance, and when we have an on-premise e-business suite and we buy a SaaS e-business suite, and then it doesn't deliver at all what Oracle sales promised us. So really take your time and get the free pilot and park before you do any major purchase with Oracle. Ramp up pricing, allowing you to have a ramp up package where you pay less early and more later as you have more users deployed. Talk with Oracle about what is really the realistic way of you rolling out cloud services. My advice is have it a conservative. You're probably going to be much slower in rolling out than you expect. Because as I said, you cannot go back with Oracle. You can only pay more money to Oracle. So start small, really trying to have, roll out small and pay more as you go along. Renewal cap, must have. So have a 5% increase. You can even have a lower. I think the standard is for Oracle is 10-20%. But you're going to have Oracle is sometimes not even willing to negotiate on the renewal price. So if you want to have a renewal price, it should be max on 5%. And often the question comes, oh, we bought a SaaS agreement 3 years ago. Now we don't want to have the same number of users. What you do, and basically what you need to do is you need to go negotiate a completely new agreement with Oracle in order to get the best possible price. But you need to start that renewal process way before, because if it's just 3 months before it's being renewed, Oracle is not going to believe that you're looking at any other competitive solution. What leverage do you have? So what will not give you a negotiation leverage is telling Oracle, because you purchase a lot of services software before, that you should have good discounts. Oracle is very much a transactional company. They just look at what is in this deal now. It's a minor consideration if you bought a lot of Oracle software before, but it's not going to make any guarantees that you're going to get the same discount as before. It's not going to be telling Oracle that you have a good relationship. And my experience is usually the customers who believe they have a good relationship are the ones that are overpaying to Oracle. It's have the knowledge to understand how does Oracle's pricing and discounting work? How does their contract terms work? Sometimes you might even have more experience than Oracle themselves, because they don't have much training for their sales reps. So if you have a new account manager at Oracle, he or she might be very poor at navigating the Oracle's internal approval systems. So, and he or she might not know very much about Oracle contracts at all. So sometimes you might actually have to educate them and tell them that we know. You can tell them that you are aware that Oracle have a very centralized approval system, and that let's work together to agree on contract terms and pricing before they ask for an internal approval. So use the different financial quarters to your benefit. So I think the most important thing is the end of May, which is Oracle financial year, because so Oracle sales reps, 50% of their salary is based on how much they're selling. So they have a 50-50%. So 50% is basic and 50% is basically on how much they're selling that year. And at the end of the year, if you reach 100% of your sales quota, you're paid double on everything that you're selling. So a lot of sales reps might have 100% sales quota reached in March, and anything they sell at that time will be counted as double. So just think for yourself. Obviously, well, you have 2 months left. Anything you buy now will be counted double. So obviously, that's going to make them even more eager to make any deal at the end of May. But also, the Oracle have this, I think it's probably purposeful, saying that they don't tell anyone what customers or how you're going to be compensated on 1st of June. That makes that everyone, so potentially you might have worked with your sales rep for 6 months negotiating a ULA or a large apps deal or technology deal. If he or she doesn't know how she's going to be compensated 1st of June, if he or she doesn't know if she's going to be your account manager anymore, they're going to be doing everything in their power to make you close that deal. They're going to really push the envelope in getting you the best discount, best contract terms, because otherwise they might have spent 6 months working with you for nothing, and then another sales rep is going to harvest it. And so I was at Oracle one time, and it was in December. I applied for a discount. I applied for 62% discount for $1 million deal, technology sales. And in December, they they just declined. No, we don't approve. 55% is max. And then I thought, oh, that was strange, because I'm used to getting approved much higher discounts. But then in February, which is Oracle's Q3 end, so December was the first month, but in February it was the last month of Oracle's Q3. I applied for the same discount and I got a 70% discount approved. And I remember thinking, wow, Oracle is really a sales company which is all focused on just approving or getting up the numbers by the end of the quarter. So use these sort of quarter ends for your own leverage. That's the strongest leverage you have. The end of May is crucial. There's no sales rep who want to leave anything until June. So what works? Control all the information to Oracle. Don't tell Oracle, it's an expansion of our existing environment. Then you're just going to get standard discount or courtesy discounts or whatever discount you got in the past. Provide Oracle with a business case for changing sort of pricing model. If you've had a 40% discount before, you can't just say, I attended a webinar, I know you could have 65% discount here. No, you need to really provide a business case. So you should probably have a competitive situation where you basically say, no, we're looking at something else. You have to give us a much better discount if we're going to continue using Oracle. And then it doesn't work if you've already told them this is the application that we're using it for, and they know it's Oracle. Then you're not going to get any better discounts. Which argument works best? Competitive situation. When it comes to Oracle ERP, it's if you say that you're looking at SAP. If it's Oracle platform as a service or infrastructure service, it's AWS. When it comes to database, it's SQL Server that Oracle is the main competitor. If you're looking at Java, it's IBM Java. But primarily, you need to have a good tactical strategy. Not long ago, I mentioned to someone that you can actually get a 0% increase on the support renewals. And he or she said, no, but we asked Oracle and they said no. Yeah, okay, but if you just ask Oracle, they might say no 10 times before you get it. So then you need to try a different negotiation strategy to get better results. Don't take first no for an answer. The best is if you can actually make Oracle forecast this deal. So if you're talking to the Oracle sales rep and they think that they're going to win this deal, and if they sort of internally say, oh, we're forecasting this to close in this quarter, then they're sort of locking themselves up internally and saying, we must close this deal. And that might actually get Oracle to become desperate and offer you even more. As I said, Oracle is a transactional company, so don't use this, oh, we had 65% in the past. It doesn't really work. Other things that can work is if you say, we just have a limited budget here, or there's no return of investment here, we might postpone the project. Oracle is selling software. They're not selling steel or cars. They can give you whatever discounts that they can get approved internally. Sometimes it can help if you suggest future projects, that if you say to the account manager, if you give us a good discount here, what we're asking for, we can consider using Oracle for future projects here. We have a few things that's happening next year. And you don't have to choose Oracle for those projects. You just tempt them by saying that there's a future business for Oracle, possibly. So here's just some examples I'm sharing, what really works but when negotiating with Oracle. So how it is compensated in 2020? So a few years ago, Oracle was, there was a lot of news reports of Oracle auditing customers, and if you bought some cloud, you would suddenly, they would remove the audit. That has changed. So Oracle's really just paying everybody almost the same if you're selling licenses or support. They're paid 20% less if they sell licenses than cloud. There's no big kickbacks for cloud sales. There's no internal KPIs or scorecard for contract terms. So what you can do is you can negotiate 0% increase on support renewals. So you can go to Oracle, if you have existing support renewals, you can go to Oracle and say, I don't want to have any increase. Can you give me a 0% increase, which is pretty easy for them to approve. You can ask for contract terms because Oracle doesn't really care about the sales rep doesn't really care about the contract terms. They only care about the revenue. And there's no get out of jail free card. So if you're being audited by Oracle and they found that you're 10 million pounds non-compliant, for the past few years, it's been like, oh, you're 10 million pounds non-compliant, but buy some cloud here for 3 million and we forget about the rest. That's not possible anymore. So it means that every audit settlement is going to be more difficult to negotiate. ULA agreements. So a lot of companies think that they're failing with the Oracle ULA agreements. And I want to sort of go into why I think that is the case. So just for anyone who don't know, Oracle ULA is Oracle's enterprise agreement style. It's an enterprise agreement which allows limited, unlimited deployments, right? So it means that it's not unlimited for all Oracle software. It's just unlimited for specific products and specific under specific terms. So why are most companies unhappy with the ULAs? It's because they don't negotiate the contract terms correctly. That they found that, oh, we signed this ULA and the sales rep said that everything was unlimited, but it's not limited there, and there's many limitations in the contracts. They also put way too many products into any unlimited contract, and then they're stuck with paying maintenance for products that they are no longer needing. And 90% of all companies who want to exit the ULA are forced to renew the ULA at a much higher cost. So Oracle is doing an audit at the end of the ULA. So a lot of companies have then found that to be non-compliant for much bigger amount, because a lot of companies think, oh, we have unlimited, we deploy, we don't keep track of the licenses. And then at the end of the ULA, Oracle asks you or they do an audit, and they're going to find that you might be 100 million pounds non-compliant. And then they say, let's renew your ULA for 10 million pounds. So here is the pricing. So this is based on 40 different ULAs that I've reviewed. So I've created sort of a benchmarking and you can see there's no Oracle ULAs are not based on the number of employees, the number of Oracle installations you have, or support renewals. It's really based on how well you negotiate with Oracle and how you explain why you need the ULA. Because if they found that you are non-compliant in an audit, then your ULA is going to be the worst ULA, because then they're going to say, well, you're non-compliant for 100 million pounds, sign a ULA here for 10 million pounds, and it's going to be a great deal. But the best ULAs are signed when you're going to Oracle and saying, we're considering standardizing on one platform. Is that WebLogic, or is that database products, or anything else? And then you can say, well, yeah, we're looking at another alternative, which is either IBM or anything else, to make Oracle think that it's a competitive bid. Then you're going to be paying anything between 1 million pounds and 2 million pounds is sort of the thing to aim for when it comes to ULAs. But it's also much depends on how well you negotiate the contract. It could be a ULA that has so many limitations that it's basically worthless and it's almost impossible to stay compliant with. So this is one way for how Oracle can price a ULA. They ask you, can you please provide, so if you go into Oracle and say, we would like to have a 3-year ULA, they can ask you, okay, can you please provide some estimate? How much Oracle products and what type of Oracle products are you going to need in the next 3 years? So this is an example here, and then they make this calculation, and then they apply a discount on it, and then they give you a price. That's one way of pricing a ULA. Another way is basically going with this, what I mentioned before. You have a competitive, it is Oracle or it's IBM or something else. So there's no rule book for what Microsoft have, but I don't know much about Microsoft, but I know they have different EAs, which is primarily based on number of employees and so on. Oracle ULAs is nothing like that. It's pure negotiation. How much information do you know? How much information does Oracle know? And it's I've seen many ULAs for 3 to 4 million pounds. You could easily get a ULA for half that price. So how do you get the best possible offer? So again, it's the same thing. Control all information to Oracle. If you're just being transparent with Oracle, you're going to be overpaying to Oracle. Provide them a reason that you can choose a non-Oracle solution. So make a realistic case. We're looking at another vendor and standardizing on that. If you provide any estimates to Oracle about how much you're going to deploy, it needs to be very conservative. Very conservative if you think, because Oracle ULAs, most companies exit with 1,000 CPUs, but so they are always much more than the estimate. And the estimate is not locked in the contract as well. So always keep the very low estimate in order to get the best possible price. When you're negotiating ULAs, if you ask for 3 to 5 years, it doesn't have any effect on pricing. If you add 1 or more products to the ULA, it doesn't really affect pricing either. Adding a product late in the negotiation can be very difficult to get approved. if you're late in the negotiations. Always negotiate the terms and conditions at the same time as the price. So don't sort of negotiate with Oracle. This comes with any agreement with Oracle. If you're just negotiating the price, and then you get the contract from Oracle, oh, here's the standard terms, and here's the discount that we agreed upon. And then you say, oh, but now is the time I need to review all my contract terms and make sure that I have the best contract terms. What's going to happen is that then you're sending back the marked up or whatever changes you want to Oracle, and the sales rep is not going to be able to get that approved internally, because he has sent in an internal approval request for standardized terms and conditions with this discount. When he resubmits the internal discount or approval request for your deal, the approvers are going to say, but why are we giving this customer all of these benefits? If they're going to get all of these benefits, they have to have less discount. So that's why talk with your Oracle sales rep, sort of agree, ask for a copy of the contract, make your recommendations or what contract terms you want, agree on the discount, then give the sales rep the whole package for them to get it approved. When it comes to ULAs, Oracle wants your support stream. It's basically a deal that you make with Oracle, is that if you sign a ULA for certain, and all of those products that are part of the ULA, you can basically never get rid of that support stream. That is why Oracle is willing to give you unlimited rights. Negotiating your support renewal. So if you want to sort of qualify what chances do you have of negotiating your support renewal? So if you've logged a lot of support tickets, the best way is to go, check your My Support. If you logged a lot of support tickets to Oracle in the past year or so, you're going to have a poor negotiation position. That's the first thing they're looking at. You need to negotiate with the support renewal rep. The licensing cloud sales have no interest in reducing support reps. So don't talk with your database sales rep about negotiating support renewals. He doesn't care. The only time he or she can care is if you make a £5 million purchase of either cloud services or licenses. Oracle can be willing to write off £1 million of your support bill. So it's magic limit, £5 million investment for either cloud or new licenses. Then you can make a 20% reduction of your existing support renewals. You cannot just say that. So if you want to negotiate your support renewal, you cannot just tell Oracle, oh, we're talking to Rimini Street or Spinnaker or whoever third-party support provider. They're going to see through that. You need to actually have a firm proposal from either one of these. Support Revolution is big in the UK, and Spinnaker as well. I actually recommend Spinnaker for this. So if you go to them, you need to have a firm proposal, because otherwise Oracle is not going to take it seriously. So you have an annual support increase by I think it's 4% most places. It's very easy to get a 0% increase on the support. So Oracle support renewals have the same sort of internal approval systems, the same as with the technology and the cloud. And you need to know how difficult is it for Oracle to approve a 0% increase on my existing support. And it's actually the support renewal rep who can approve this herself. So it's very easy to get this. Okay, you have a 500,000 support renewal. If you just tell Oracle is going to say, no, you need to commit to 3 years. Just say, no, I'm not committing to 3 years. I'm going to have a 0% increase on 1 year, and they're going to give you that. Something that works very well, you can say we have a very poor relationship. Oracle is sort of sensitive skinned. They know they have a poor relationship in the market, and by claiming that you have a poor relationship and that your management don't want to renew support, then they're often willing to sort of move the needle a bit. Oracle are more willing to reduce support on Oracle application support. So if it's about the technology, the database and the middleware, don't even bother getting a 10% reduction or something like this. But if you have a CBEL or Oracle e-business suite, it could possibly be an opportunity to make like a 10-20% reduction of Oracle support fees. But if you want to have this 50-60% reduction, you have to go to a third-party support provider. So here's a few common challenges on negotiating annual support. So if you're running late with renewing support for any reason, Oracle can give you sort of a grace day, a grace period. So let's say that your support renewal is expiring in December. Oracle's going to say, "Oh, we're going to terminate the license if you don't renew or anything like that." But they can give you a grace period up to 90 days without asking management for approval. But it will not be extended beyond May. And as I said, you can lower the support fees if you make a large investment. Audit. So one common mistake is, can I terminate support agreement? Will Oracle audit me? So I've never heard this happen ever, right? And I've worked in the Oracle world for 15 years, and all my contacts, and we never heard that just because you terminate a support agreement that Oracle is auditing you. It has never happened. If you want to lower the 22% rate, well, it's very, very difficult to do that. I recommend that you focus on making higher discounts on the licenses. Repricing, which is Oracle's way of locking in you into paying support for unused products. It can be done, so you can actually terminate unused products from your support agreement, but it requires different sort of contractual processes to use. So I think I'm right on time. So just want to make you aware that if you want to have more training like this about Oracle, you can just visit this page here. If you want to know more, you can follow me on LinkedIn. I think I publish quite often articles about Oracle contract and licensing and how to better navigate the Oracle software world. And I have run a newsletter as well. So I think you will get these links in an email being sent out automatically after this one. So that's it for me. I want to thank you everybody for attending. There's a few questions here. So no, I will not share the slides actually, but you can go in and watch the recording. And I'm going to read, I'm going to answer the questions that you asked here and there after the webinar is finished. I hope this was good, everybody, and have a good day. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Louise. Krupa. So I don't know much about IBM, Microsoft, or SAP. I'm like an Oracle guy, right? But a few people, I've had this presentation before for IT procurement, and they said it is actually most vendors works like this, especially with this internal approval. I think it works the same with you as in your companies, that you have different approvals, and think of it like this, that when you're negotiating with Oracle, you're dealing with one individual, you're dealing with the person, not the company. Harinder, yes, so it's audio and visual, so basically you can actually register to this. If you have any colleagues or friends who think can benefit from this, you can actually just register to this, and anyone can watch the on-demand recording. Group, I don't know. Well, okay, so that's a different question. So I worked in a large Microsoft reseller who have lots of experience in Microsoft, and when I sort of told them about the world with Oracle, and they said, "Wow, Microsoft is not willing to negotiate that much." So Harinder, I will send you an email with the link how you can register for this one on demand. I hope this helps. I hope you're going to get much better results in the next negotiation with Oracle. Thank you. Bye, everybody.